Hello everyone and welcome to a new English lesson. Our lesson today is 7E. Listen and speak. Today we have two objectives. 1. Locate specific information after listening to two friends giving advice. 2. Use some phrases expressing advice, rules, and obligations appropriately. Now, could you please open the student book and turn to page 96 and open the workbook and turn to page 102. Let's start with activity 1. Listen. Exercise A. Discuss. Let's start with the first question. What kind of problems do people your age usually have? Who can tell me? That's correct. Fighting. What else? Eating problems. What else? That's correct. Homework problems. Let's move to the second question. Who do you usually have problems with? And we can use the words in the box. We can have problems with family members. We can have problems with friends, neighbors, classmates, or teammates. And also we can have problems with teachers. Now, let's go into more details about each one of them. Let's start with family. What kind of problems would you have with your family? That's correct. With family, you can have a disagreement with a brother or sister. Now, how about friends? What kind of problems would you have? That's correct. You could have a disagreement about different issues or topics or possessions. How about the last one, school? What kind of problems would you have at school? That's correct. Too much homework. What else? That's correct. Not doing well in certain subjects. Well done. Let's talk about asking for advice. Who do you ask for advice and why? That's correct. A friend. What else? A teacher. What else? A family member. Let's choose family. Now, and let's choose this answer. I usually ask my parents for advice because they are older than me and they can find solutions for everything. Now, let's move to the second question. Do you always follow their advice? And why? That's correct. We should always follow the advice of our parents. Now, I always follow their advice because they are wise and they are my parents. How about the third question? Does their advice usually help? What do you think? Well, some people might say it might help, it might not help. Well, I think that their advice is always very helpful. Well done. Let's move to exercise B. Read Steve's problem. What should he do? Let's check the problem. I've got a problem and I don't know what to do. Yesterday I needed a tablet. I couldn't find mine, so I took my brother's. However, I dropped it on the floor and now it isn't working. I'm in trouble. I would like to fix it, but I haven't got enough money. I haven't told my brother yet. He's going to be so upset when he finds out. What should I do? Do I have to tell him that I broke it? What do you think, guys? Who can summarize the problem? That's correct. He broke his brother's tablet. Now, What advice should we give him? That's correct. The best advice is, I think Steve should tell his brother the truth. I'm sure he'll understand and he won't be upset. So always tell the truth. Well done. Let's move to exercise C. We have two friends of Steve, and both of them, they gave him advices. Now, let's start with Jake. Listen to what he said and choose which advice did he give. But remember, before listening, pause the video, read the answers, then come back and play the audio. Go ahead. We'll come back. Now, let's listen to Jake.
7E. 1. Listen. C. Listen to two of Steve's friends giving him advice and choose the correct answer A, B or C. Then check your answers with a partner. Jake.
First of all, you should calm down. Accidents happen to all of us. Of course, you have to tell your brother what happened. Say that you are sorry. Explain to him that you needed it, and promise that next time you will ask him before you borrow any of his things. I hope everything goes well.
So, what was Jake's advice? A. You should give him your tablet. B. You shouldn't tell your brother what happened. Or C. You should promise that you won't take his things again without asking. So, what is the correct answer? Well done! It is C. And this is the listening script. Who can tell me where did we find this correct answer? Well done! This is where we can find it. Promise that next time you will ask him before you borrow any of his things. Well done! Let's move to Fred's advice. Again, you can pause the video, read the advices, then come back and listen to the audio. We'll come back. Let's listen to the audio first.
Fred.
I think you should tell your parents about this. I know they'll be angry, but it's important. You haven't got enough money to fix the tablet or get your brother a new one, so maybe your parents can help you solve the problem. They can pay for it now, and you can save up money and pay them back.
So which advice did Fred give? A. You shouldn't tell your parents. B. You should ask your parents for help. Or C. You should save up money to give to your brother. What is the correct answer? That's correct. It's B. Now, can you check or can you tell me where is it in the listening script? That's correct. It is actually two parts. I think you should tell your parents about this, and so maybe your parents can help you solve the problem. Well done. Let's move to activity 2. Speak. Exercise A. In this exercise, we will listen to some phrases in the tables, then we will repeat them. And this is the first part, which talks about asking for advice. Let's listen and repeat.
2. Speak. A. Listen to the phrases in the tables and repeat them.
Asking for advice. Stating a problem. I've got a problem with my brother. The problem is that he's very messy. Describing how you feel. I feel down, terrible, helpless, etc. I'm really upset, scared, confused, lonely, etc. I'm in trouble. I don't know what to do. Asking for advice. I need your advice. What should I do? Can you please help me? Please tell me what to do.
Now, this is the second part. It's about giving advice. Let's listen to the phrases in the tables and try to repeat them. Go ahead.
Giving advice. Encouraging. Don't worry. Calm down. Cheer up. Everything will be just fine. It's going to be all right. I hope everything goes well. Giving advice. I think you should talk to him. You shouldn't lie. Perhaps you should explain how you feel. You could, ask your parents for help. Expressing rules and obligations. Do I have to tell my brother that I broke his tablet? You have to be careful with your brother's things every time you borrow them. You must ask for your brother's permission before you borrow his things.
Now, exercise B. Role play. Talk in pairs. Here we have 4 situations. Let's check what should student A do and what should student B do. Student A, choose one of the situations below. Describe your problem to student B. Say how you feel and ask him or her for advice. So student A will choose a topic and ask for advice. Student B, listen to student A's problem and give him or her advice. So student B will give advice. Let's take an example about the first problem. First, let's check how student A can present a problem, then ask for advice, and check how student B will respond, then give advice. So student A, the problem is that, so this is how he presented the problem. Then he might say, I feel, then mention the feeling, then ask for the advice. What should I do? Do I have to? Now, of course, these are just 2 examples. You can use your own words as well. Now, let's check how student B responded and then gave an advice. Don't worry. Perhaps you should. You must, or mustn't, or have to, or don't have to. Now, let's take a full example. Let's check how the full dialogue will be about this problem. The problem is, you are tired all the time and the school exams are in a week. Student A will say, the problem is that I'm tired all the time and the school exams are in a week. Please, tell me what to do. Student B will answer, don't worry. Perhaps you should sleep more, and eating lots of fruit and vegetables can give you lots of energy. It is your turn now. Use the other situations to practice with a friend or a family member. Let's move to the workbook. Page 102. Exercise B. Read the phrases 1 to 6 below. Which of them would you use when asking for advice, which when giving advice, and which when expressing rules and obligations? Write A for asking for advice, G for giving advice, or E for expressing rules and obligations. Let's start with number 1. I think you should talk to your friend. And the correct answer is G, that's giving advice. Now you can pause the video, complete the task, then come back and check your answers. Go ahead. We'll come back. Now the correct answers are 2. Please tell me what to do. And that's A, asking for advice. 3. Should I tell her how I feel? It is A, asking for advice. 4. you must ask for your parents' permission first. And this is expressing rules and obligations. Number 5, cheer up. The correct answer is G, giving advice. And the last one, number 6, you have to be careful with other people's things when you borrow them. And the correct answer is E, expressing rules and obligations. Well done, everyone. This is the end of our lesson today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.